Hi everyone. It's really nice to be here. I must start with apology. Just about to launch our new product, and I'm spending my days and nights at our factory, and didn't had really time to prepare. So I'm using those, and if you have any questions or something is not clear, just interrupt me. Please raise your hand who knows about Click and Grow and the story behind. Impressive. At least something we have done right. So I'll make it very short. As most young boys in the world, I dreamed about becoming an astronaut. Unfortunately, my dream didn't come true, and I ended up as an ordinary orchestra conductor. Even though my dream didn't come true, I still am really passionate about space. And the same passion kept me reading different books and articles about space. Until about 9-10 years ago, I read an article about NASA Mars mission and about technology they're planning to use there. And one particular section of the article was about technology for growing plants in space without the soil. This was something incredible. So I ended up building a device based on NASA open images and charts. And then suddenly, in this device, during the very cold Estonian winter, tomatoes started to grow. 4 years ago, I read another article about how people throwing away houseplants. $40 billion worth of houseplants every year because people can't take care of them. So I put two things together. I had this quite cool device, and people had this really huge problem. And I started to develop a flower pot which could grow a plant without watering and fertilizing. And that's how Click and Grow was born. But today's event topic is not Click and Grow, unfortunately, but lessons learned. And now I have to look back. And when I'm looking back to our journey, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And absolutely everything we could mess up, we messed up. But really good thing here is that doing wrong and messing up are the key components of learning. Although we have thousands of lessons we have learned, time is not our side today, so I picked 3 particularly important to us today. And I believe that following those 3 lessons, I take a water, I'm sorry. Following those 3 lessons will help us not only survive, but be even more successful. Don't listen to yourself. Listen to your customers. Don't do anything you can't measure, and don't hire people. Build a team. Don't listen to yourself. Listen to your customers. We entrepreneurs have a really big problem. We can call it even disease. We are positive people. We see almost everything through pink glasses. And everything seems for us a bit more positive than it actually is. And I have seen that this kind of positive thinking affects almost everything. If something is normal for ordinary people, we entrepreneurs tend to interpret it as perfect. And if something is, let's say, catastrophic for ordinary people, we entrepreneurs tend to interpret it as not so bad. And for me, today, it all means you can't listen to yourself. We learned this lesson in a very hard way. 4 years ago, when I started the company, it was crucial to prove to the investors that an idea of an electronic flower pot is actually needed and doable. And I sent out some press releases, talked with hundreds of editors, and everybody started to write about us. We got coverage in New York Times, Wired Magazine, Gizmag, Fast Company, and so on and so on. It seemed that the product is really needed. So we set up a survey on our website and wanted to understand through this survey, do people really want this product? An interesting thing happened. Thousands of people actually signed up. And by the time we launched our product, we had more than 20,000 people who wanted to have it. But then, about 200 of them actually bought it. Through the development process, we asked customers' opinions. We asked almost about everything, about the shape, size, idea, about everything. And we interpreted everything through pink glasses. We added to every answer our own small bit of positivity. This kind of, let's say, stupidity is easy to fix if you have a software product with 10 lines of code. But if you have 200,000 euros worth of plastic molds, you have to live with it. You just can't change them. And looking back, we lived with it and did it pretty well, but it was pure luck. When I started to develop our new product, it was clear that we need a better way to understand what people actually need. And we needed a survey that has some kind of proofing system or some kind of proof questions in it, so that we could not interpret answers and people will actually buy the product when it's ready. We met many research companies to figure out the different ways to make surveys proof or kind of positive proof. We tried to figure out a perfect control system to be sure that the product is really bought by a client. We went through hundreds of control questions and systems. And finally, we found it. And it was simpler than you can actually imagine. To have a guarantee that your possible client will become your client when your product is ready is, what do you think? Exactly. To ask them money as a guarantee. Sure, it's not an easy task to have a survey where you ask people to to prove their answers by sending you money. But we found a simple and elegant solution. We decided to use Kickstarter not as a funding platform, but as a survey and research platform. Our Kickstarter campaign turned out quite successful. We ended up with 600, a bit more than 600,000 in pre-orders and more than 10,000 backers. But the most important thing is that our clients, our possible clients, stated that they want this product. And it wasn't our own imagination, result of our own positive thinking. I believe that whatever you do, try to find possibilities to eliminate your own opinion or your own positive voice, especially in product development. I believe that your customers know better what they want. A second lesson we learned is don't do anything you can't measure. When Click and Grow was launched, the first product was a hit. Everybody wrote about it, and everybody wanted to sell it. And we pretty much felt like the most popular guy in the glass. We sold our first batch to Sweden. And the guys came here to Estonia with a briefcase full of money. And they wanted to have everything. They wanted to buy all we have. And the funny thing, they hadn't even seen the product. So for a startup, it was like a dream come true. And of course, we sold them all we had. And we did it with hundreds of other clients. And our products were available from China to Brazil. All Russia was full of our products, and we signed contracts with many big retailers in the US. And to be honest, we really rocked. But then sales started slowly to decrease. And you don't say to the most popular guy in the glass that maybe you should measure what is the reason of your popularity or something like this. If you're popular, you push the pedal. And that's exactly what we did. We hired a top PR company from the US. We increased our sales efforts to get more retailers to sell our products. We spent hundreds of thousands of being in fancy places and doing fancy marketing. But it didn't help. Some time ago, we found ourselves in the situation where we had more than 300 retail partners. Each of them at least 2, some more, retail points. Some of them even thousands of retail points. Thousands of retail points all over the world, and none of them actually sold. It was time to admit the hard truth. We were so blinded by our popularity that we didn't see the importance of analyzing and measuring. We didn't know why we did sell or why we didn't sell. We didn't know exactly who is our end user. We didn't have any data about who is selling, whom is selling, or how is selling. And the worst thing in this situation, where you don't have analyzable data, is to start to promote it. I told that we hired a top US PR company to promote us. That we bought a top place to the Wired magazine shop. That we spent hundreds of thousands of euros promoting our, let's say honestly, stupidity. We found out that only 7 retail points out of thousands were actually analyzable. And we did something I'm really proud of. We learned of it, and we dropped all the channels we can't analyze and measure. It wasn't an easy task, because we had to say no to the quite big retailers in the US, like Sears, Bed Bath & Beyond, and so on. But it helped us to focus on channels we can measure and increased sales there. Today, I believe that this rule, don't do anything you can't measure, is applicable everywhere in our company. In sales, marketing, support, people, everywhere. Some time ago, I had a really good chance to talk with 2 of our competitors, or actually ex-competitors. They both bankrupt because of scaling their business up without having actual analyzable data, without knowing and measuring what they are doing. The third lesson I wanted to share is don't hire people, build a team. I believe that people around you are the most important components in your success. And I must admit that choosing the right people is one of the hardest tasks in my work. A few weeks ago, I met one of the top hiring managers in Estonia, and he told me that in 50% of cases, he makes a bad choice. In a startup world, it would mean a catastrophe. I have seen that it takes up to 6 months when new team member is fully functional, and in startup world, you can't afford it. Through the years, I have hired and fired many people, and actually more than I would like to admit. I paid attention to the people's skills, their education, their previous experiences, and based on those parameters, I chose always the best ones. But I had never assurance that they would stay with me for a long time. And one day, after understanding that yet another person doesn't have the right blood type, I started to compare all the people I have ever hired. There are 3 types of them. The ones whom I worked for a long time, the ones I fired, and the ones who left. And I ended up with a very strange conclusion or solution. This. Now, every time when I hire a person, this board is my guide. You might ask how this, say, BMW R62 or this Dieter Rams gramophone helps me to hire, let's say, a marketing manager. The answer is very simple. The people I hire have to share the same passions I have. it's a mood board which includes all the things I really like or admire. Those people who have been working with for a long time are totally different. They are young, old, men, women, slow, quick. But in some strange way, those things are connecting them. Whether the designer, or the story behind. We are adding new things to our mood board and using today mood boards not only during the hiring process, but also developing our products, selecting retail partners, and so on. Sure, those people I hire have to be smart. They have to be keen to learn. But all other things, in my opinion, are irrelevant. When I'm looking at our company today, all the tasks and problems we have to solve are new. Nobody have never done something like this before. So we have to learn. And in this case, it really doesn't matter if an engineer or a conductor will learn to solve some kind of marketing problem. It really doesn't matter what you do or who you are. I believe that these 3 lessons will help you as well to survive and be more successful. But there is one thing more, and I have told this so many times before, and I'm sorry for repeating myself. It really doesn't matter if you can listen to your clients and if you can measure everything and if you can build a perfect team. It really doesn't matter if you don't have passion about what you do. Thanks.
In your case, you are one of these product situations where there is kind of something on the market, something similar prior to what you are doing. But it seems that the biggest problem is, as Petri was telling, biggest competitors is I just don't buy. That the customer finds it too new or too different, and it's difficult to locate in the store into a right place that the customer will find it. So you are measuring in your sales channels. What are you measuring there in order to help to understand how to place it into a right spot that the customers will find it and the right customers will find it?
As the product is really unique and innovative, it's really difficult to explain it in retail stores. So what we're doing right now is we're actually using channels where we can explain the product.
Okay.
So online channels are the most important today. But we are also using or trying different other channels, and of course some markets where people know about the product, as in Estonia, it's quite easy to sell. And but if you're asking what we are measuring, today we are in a phase where we're measuring almost everything. Absolutely. Whatever data we have, we're trying to understand why people are buying and how they are buying. Because
I can understand it in a web situation, but how about the real store? What can you there measure?
Yeah, actually, we are measuring or trying to measure when people are buying. We're trying to get people's emails. We're trying to contact them and ask why they bought, and so on and so on. So it's really difficult in retail, but that's the reason we are today focusing more on online channels.
Questions from the audience? Yes, I can see hands there.
If I recall correctly, you won Ajujaht a couple of years ago.
Yes.
What lessons did you learn from that, and is Ajujaht as good as they are promoting?
Absolutely. It's a race. So basically, you have to run. It's like a real life. But you have teachers there. You have hundreds of other people there who are doing the same, and it's much easier. So I really suggest to start your entrepreneurial life through Ajujaht or through similar competition. So basically, you have to do everything you can, and Ajujaht was, I believe, the process was about 3 months. So during the process, you have to do something. You have to show something. So it was really good lesson for us. And let's say when we had the Kickstarter campaign, it was quite similar. You have 1 month to sell the product and show to the backers what can you do during the 1 month. And if you are developing a real product, it's extremely difficult to show something during this short time period. So
I was a manager of trainings at the time when Mattias was in Ajujaht. And from a side, what I think was what most of these teams got out of Ajujaht is self-confidence. That I can actually do it. That these people tell me that I can do it. Just go out there and do it. And second was learning. That if you use these, Ajujaht is just one of them. There are like hundreds around you, and in UK, in US, in Finland. If you use these events as lessons to learn, that you gather feedback and you become better at explaining what you are thinking and what you want to do. It makes it clearer also to yourself what you are actually doing. That I think these, from my side, which have been like general general things what people get out of such competitions and such programs as Idea Lab or Mectory or whatever. Any other questions? Yes.
I have a mic actually already. Hi. Do I understand correctly? So basically, you just stole the NASA's idea, and that's one. And second question, out of curiosity, if it's not a secret, what you did before, and the question basically is, what was the transmission period for you, and what was the deal breaker when you said, okay, I will now shift to the Click and Grow project completely? Thank you.
Okay. No. First question.
Did you steal it from NASA?
No, we didn't steal it. First of all, the technology is based on on nature, how actually some plants grow in nature, like orchids in Japan. They don't grow in soil. So NASA was using this technology. But today, we don't use even this similar technology. We developed our own technology, and this is really unique. Even NASA don't have it.
And the second question was about what did you do before Click and Grow, and when did you switch from whatever your previous life to full-time to Click and Grow?
I had a small software company before, so and after crashing with it, I had about 2 years free time to think about my life and things. So 2 years. If I heard correctly, that
the reason why you were reading so many articles.
it's not the reason. I try to read as much as possible, even now.
Okay, question from the middle somewhere. Yes.
Hello, my name is Taano and I'm from Live on Screen. We are also participating in Ajojaht. And I have a question. If you enter with a new product on the market, which is more important, to get the right feedback or to create the need for this new product?
Absolutely. Don't try to create a need.
Why?
We thought that we can create a need for an electronic flower pot. It's almost impossible for a startup. I believe that there are people who need your product, and there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who need an electronic flower pot. The key thing is to find those people and understand how this product should look like or what it should be. So the first thing you should do is to get feedback, and very clear feedback.
Okay, and then you. Yes, you. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Senja from students.ee. The question is, how do you solve that, not this picture, but the previous one, the puzzle mood? So is it like a storytelling or association game or a memorization game? You clicked
No.
it.
What?
The mood.
Yeah,
mood,
the mood
picture.
puzzle. What's the answer?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
How do you use it? That
Okay.
You said that you use it in hiring people.
Yeah.
Do you just show it and say that, does it look familiar? Or you explain it as a story that this
Yes.
is what we do?
Actually, yes, I'm showing the mood board, and usually I'm talking with the people what they think about those products, and do they know about those products. I've seen that the people who don't know those products actually doesn't like our product, and I don't have any connection. Like, I don't have not any connection, but if I'm talking about hiring, I don't believe that those people are right for me today. It can be different. one day, but today I believe that they should know something about those products, or they have to feel something about it, or it's quite difficult to explain. But usually we are talking and showing the mood board. So it's kind of conversation and understanding. Yeah.
So it's built on associations. Okay, and the final question.
Hello, my name is Kay and from startup Go Work a Bit, also at Ajujaht at the moment. My question is, how many times during this click and grow period have you thought that the hell with the click and the hell with the grow, I don't want to do it anymore? And what has helped, if so, what has helped to keep you going?
Oh. Sometimes I feel it, yes. Not too often. But then it's definitely time to have a beer. So after the beer, everything is okay. So, but yes, this is a tough question, as I found it click and grow alone. This is especially difficult, because you don't have people to share your ideas with, and I don't suggest this nobody. Was it the question or the answer? Or
yes. What have helped you to keep? What is the thing that keeps you motivated when you're feeling really down and?
Because when you take a beer, you become sober, and then the problems come back.
Yes, you cannot have drinks throughout the year, but.
The honest answer would be yes. 2 beers will help. But actually, in our team today, we have so many cool people, and we have so many cool clients. And if you see that people actually are buying your products, and they're sending back their images of their plants, this is so motivating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I wish you only positive stress. And
thanks.
Thank you again.